What up, everybody? Welcome to Livin Like a G with your girl, G. I'm super pumped because I have one of my really good friends, Lauren Spencer Smith. Yay! One of the things that I love about this podcast is one, that I get to have my friends on here, but two, I get to just shoot the crap with my friends, and it's just us talking about memories and interesting situations that we've been in. So one of the things that I've recently started to do, and to start off this podcast with anybody who's on it, is talk about each other's first impressions of each other. Do you remember the first time we met?
No.
I remember the first time we met.
When?
Okay, so the first time we met, obviously, maybe people don't know this. Lauren and I were on American Idol together. That's how we originally met. But the specific time of how we met is we were in Hollywood Week. This is my first memory of us.
I think I remember. I think this is what I'm thinking of.
I was sitting on the couch. Like in Hollywood Week, they had like all these rooms that they would like record us in, right? And there was this big room that everybody would just kind of be hurtled in. And there were these two couches, and I was sitting on the couch, like chilling or whatever. And Lauren somehow ended up in like my vicinity, and I talked to her for, I'm telling you, like a split second. And I don't even remember what we talked about, which is weird because I usually have a really good memory, but I was so delirious without sleep. So that's probably why I don't remember. But I remember her saying something, us talking about something. I think you came up to me and said, I really like your outfit. I really like your like aesthetic or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, oh, thank you. That's cool. Like, you know, whatever. We just started talking. And she said like two things that made me laugh. And I was like, I can tell I like this girl. Like, I can tell this girl and I, if we get more opportunities to hang out, like we're going to be friends.
Yeah. It's like my first, Geena, I just said this earlier too. Like, you like intimidated me because you're so cool. I was like 40 pounds so heavier, like a little bit chubby, and like Gina's over here with like space buns and like this dope ass outfit, and like from across the room, like Gina's one of those people, like across from you, like she's smiling, like you can see her out of everyone, like she stands out because she has a big personality. Aww. And like you can like she's that person you see in the room, and I was like, oh, she's so cool, like
that's so nice.
And I'm like 16-year-old me, I'm like, oh my god, like how can I be friends?
You felt that way, but everybody else is probably like looking at me like, who the fuck is this girl with a puffy jacket?
Yeah, like everyone that's not in my generation's like, why her hair and her hair in space buns? Like, right. She's so outdated. Where like everyone my age was like, wow, like
she's so in fashion, like she's ahead of the times. Like it was so funny. I mean, I hope that the reason why I was mostly a loner that week was for your reason. Was like people just were like, who's that girl? And like, you know, whatever. But who knows? I mean, I was so sick. I was like really tending to myself. Yeah. And also like,
you probably got me sick.
Maybe.
Like, I was sick at the end, and I swear it's because of you.
That would be so funny. My bad. But yeah, I was so off to myself. And what happened was there was like, I don't know, 300 plus of us, maybe more. And that kind of group of people, when you get these kind of people together that all have a talent and they know they have a talent, it ends up being this bragging scenario where everybody's trying to out-sing each other. They're all like getting together and singing. Like I have this video of all of them getting together and singing worship songs, and it's like, who can do the best run? And I'm like, and in my scenario, I'm just like so not like that. Like I mean, I'll joke around with my friends, but like in a scenario where I don't know anybody, I'm not going to sit here and try to go like toe to toe with people. That's just not my vibe. Like I
definitely found like Hollywood vibe to Hawaii for me. I know for you it was a little bit different, but I found like two completely different energies on a competitive level. Hawaii definitely got to the point where it was like, we want everyone to do well. We want everyone to sing well. Where Hollywood Week was I definitely got competitive vibes from a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I could definitely pick and choose who I wanted to surround myself with. Whereas in
Mhm.
Hawaii, for me, I was like, you know what? I like everybody. Like, no one has
Yeah.
given me that competitive energy. They're just like, what are you singing? Oh, you're going to be so good. It wasn't like, I'm singing Whitney
Right.
Houston this round. Yeah. And it was
Yeah.
like,
You're like, "Wait,
okay.
wait." Although low key, that was a flex.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I definitely agree. Like Hollywood Week was you got everybody together and there was probably, I don't know, a good like 25% of us that were like, I'm only here to compete with myself. Like
Yeah.
I just want to do the best version of myself that I can do. And then probably the 75% were like, I want to try
They're,
to outdo people and
yeah.
be
Or like,
competitive
they're for
about it.
TV.
Yeah, or here for
Yeah.
TV or whatever. And to me, what I have found in that scenario is that when the people who are normally like that, not to say everybody, but
Mm.
normally those people are wildly insecure.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're trying so hard to prove, oh, I'm talented too, that
Mm-hmm.
they're like trying too hard. And me, I
Anyone
was
that I meet that's confident, like, doesn't like start a conversation off like with themselves. They're not the first one to sing. They're always so
right.
interested in other people because they're so confident in their own element. But that definitely is what separated you going through or not, was just
Hmm.
having the mindset of, I'm here to compete with myself. Every round
Yeah.
I knew there was several other people, like, especially like I was best friends with Kimmy Gabriella. Like, I just
Hmm.
think she's so
Oh my
insanely
gosh.
talented. Like,
Kimmy
I
is
heard her sing, and
crazy.
yeah, I instantly felt like I had no talent every time she sang, but I never felt like I was competing with Kimmy. I
Yeah,
always felt like I
exactly.
was competing with myself, and
Mhm.
never once felt like I was competing with other contestants. And that's definitely what separated the people that went through and the people that didn't.
Yeah, and I think what's important about that too is when you decide that you're competing with other people, when you see other people do better than you, then you feel less than.
And you feel
And then
jealous. Yeah.
yeah, and then it gets all in your head like I'm not enough, I'm not good enough. Like why did they even
Hmm.
pick me to be here? And it goes through
Yeah.
this whole process of you just like crapping on yourself.
Yeah.
Especially like me. I mean, I was sitting in the audience like at least Kimmy is like only a year older than you. Like Kimmy is 10 years younger than
Yeah.
me and she can sing circles around me. And I'm like, who in the frick
Yeah.
is this? And then I'm watching people in Hollywood Week and 50 people in a row come up and I'm like, who is this singing?
Yeah.
Like it was just like nonstop. I mean, there were people in Hollywood Week that I was completely shocked that they did not go to
Mhm.
top 40. And I was shocked that they chose me over them. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
There was
remember
a
this.
couple where I was
Do you
like, oh,
remember that
they
redheaded
didn't.
girl that was from Kansas?
Yes, and she sang um Carrie Underwood's "Blown Away" for one of her
Oh my
rounds.
gosh, her voice was something out of a time machine.
Yeah,
Holy crap. And I was like, you're not choosing this girl?
yeah.
I was there was just so many people like that that you were just like, how the heck am I here? You know? And
Mhm.
and if you played the game of this is a competition rather than, hey, I'm just competing with myself and I'm just like trying to do my best, you would get so caught up in that. It was so
Yeah,
easy to
you
get
would
caught
just
up.
never survive if you're constantly comparing yourself to other people. Like, there's
Yeah.
way too many. Although they never air people, there are so many people that make it to Hollywood and get sent home that are
Hmm.
extremely talented, and you would
Yeah.
have no idea.
Yeah, and now American Idol is more story driven too. So like unless you had some
Mhm.
crazy story, you basically weren't getting airtime. Like I was shook that I got airtime. And then I remembered what I did in my audition. Like I got the judges to sing my own song,
Yeah.
which is like crazy. Okay, first of
Yeah.
all, like what made me think that I would get Katy Perry to sing my song back to me is just
Yeah, you really
in the
were
head.
like, okay, just sing with me. I was like, yeah.
I was like, what the heck?
I was at home like, hey, I don't want you back.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, I got so many little cute videos of little girls like singing the songs and stuff. It was adorable. But yeah, I think that's the only reason why I got aired because I didn't have some crazy story. I just wasn't really willing to like air my dirty laundry like some other people were.
yeah.
But uh
I
so
find
anyways,
too, it's like, for me, I didn't want people to vote for me based on sympathy. Like, I wanted people to vote for me based on like my talent. And I find a lot of the things that I'm upset about is like my past and something that I'm not afraid to share. but I'm
Mhm.
not sharing it to get clout. I'd share it
Yeah.
because that's who I am, and if you wanna get to know me, that's that. But I'm
Yeah.
not sharing that to millions of people. That's my story,
Yeah.
and I choose who I
Right.
tell it to.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
there's also people involved in the story that might see it on TV and be like, "That's not how I remember it," or
Right.
"Why are you telling our business?" You know what I mean? So it
Yeah, I
just
don't
gets to, like,
appreciate that.
yeah, and I respect other people in that sense that I didn't share that kind of stuff,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
I mean, I felt the same way, like, even some of the stories that were being told in our season, I was like,
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"I don't think that's your story to tell." Like, yeah, whatever, but again, to each their own, I'm not here to judge. I was just, like, sitting there, I was like, "Dang," like, if that was me on the other end, I'd be like, first of all, let me just raise from the dead and tell you
Yeah.
not to tell my story, okay?" Let's just make this clear, you know? Oh my gosh. First of all, I just want to talk about too. I'm wearing the infamous bucket hat and we're talking about American Idol. And I am so currently salty because I got so much hate for wearing this bucket hat on American
Just
Idol.
bucket hats in general.
So much hate. I was the only one that even wore a bucket hat, first of all. And I remember my interview. There was like these group of like really young girls that came through. They were supporting somebody.
Mhm.
And they came up to me and was like, "Hey, we don't want to draw attention to you, but we wanted to ask you, are you Billie Eilish?" I was like, no.
Low key, my mom kept when we first met you, she was like, "That girl looks like Billie Eilish. That girl's trying to be Billie Eilish." And like she kept saying that. She's like, "Is
Right.
that the one that's like Billie Eilish?" And I was like,
Right.
"Yes, mom, it's
Oh my
Geena. Her
gosh.
name's not
Yeah.
Billie Eilish."
It's so funny. But anyways, Katie basically was like, "Take that hat off." And I was like, "Well, look here."
Yeah.
Like,
You're like, "Y'all gave me 2 days to prepare. I didn't do my hair."
yeah. Also, I've been wearing this hat for already 4 hours. The hair that is under this hat,
Yeah.
it should not be shown to the world. And then the reason why I'm salty about it is actually not that they made me take the hat off on national television or that I got blasted for wearing the hat. Actually, that's not what I'm salty about. What I'm salty about is the fact that 6 months after the season is over, all these hoes be wearing a bucket hat and
Yeah.
it's part of their merch. And I'm like, I could get no love for wearing a bucket hat,
Yeah.
but now everybody's got a bucket hat.
Honestly, you've actually started so many trends that like
Right.
later you're like, "Yo, this is cool," and I'm like, "No, it's not." And then like 6 months later, I'm wearing a bucket hat. I'm like, "Yo, Geena, you see my bucket hat?" And you're just like, "Girl, like screw you.
No,
Like
not
I
with you.
told you to wear a bucket hat, and you said no."
Oh no, I didn't do that to you. I was like, "Yo, you got a bucket hat?" I was like, remember when you first did a picture with the leopard bucket hat? And I was
Yeah, you were
like,
like, "The hat is
no,
fire."
I was like, that hat is fire. I'm just salty about the people like freaking Nick that's wearing a bucket hat. He's like, get your merch. And I'm like, bruh, F off. None of y'all were backing me up about the bucket hat. And now it's a part of your merch.
Yeah, my thing is like if someone's ever doing something and I don't think it's cool, like I don't say it's not cool. Like I'll always
Right.
be real with you. Like if you're like, "Does this look good?" I'll say yes or
Right,
no.
right.
But like if I don't know you and like if we weren't really friends and you were like, "Yeah, I love bucket hats," I'd be like, "Good for you." Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think. But so many people were so quick to be like, "Geena, why are you wearing a bucket hat?" That now
Right.
it's like it's embarrassing that they're wearing bucket
Yeah,
bucket hats now.
I just wanna, like, I wish I had, their, like, comments in, like, text form or some physical form that I could
Or like a video
screenshot.
of them being like, "I hate bucket hats." And then you can be
Yeah,
like,
and
and
then,
then you
like,
can make a
me
video
wear
that's like, "How bizarre!" I'm like.
yeah. Oh my gosh, you know
How
what? I should make
bizarre!
a
How
TikTok
bizarre!
and
Yeah.
be like a freaking video, like do a screen recording of Katy Perry being like, "Take off your bucket hat" or whatever, like it,
Yeah.
blocks your face or whatever, and then being like, me being like, "How bizarre," and then show every freaking
Yeah.
person that now wears a bucket hat from American Idol from that season. I'm like, oh my god, y'all can kiss my butt.
Yeah.
It's so funny. What's your funniest idol memory?
I don't
This might
know.
take a second.
I
I'm
already
trying to
know
think
what
of
you're
it
gonna
too.
say. I already know what you're
I
gonna
know
say.
my
It's
funniest
not
memory with
funny.
you, which is my favorite memory of all time.
So rude. Um, I have so many funny memories.
I'll go first because I already have mine down packed, and I'm
No,
sure I
I
have
feel that.
more.
I feel like mine's just like a general vicinity. I feel like I hung out with Kimmy a lot, and like Kimmy was just like my homegirl on the show, and like everything we did was so funny together. Like even in top 20, like I love her dad. Like I honestly felt like her dad was like he was the dad for everyone on the show. If you were on that show, like
let me talk about Kimmy's dad first of all, okay? Kimmy's dad is the sweetest dad. He was the only minor parent that was a dad that came.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Cameron's dad ended up coming, but originally I think it was just her mom. So he was the only like single parent that was there that was a dad. Everybody else had their mom with them. And sweetest little Hispanic guy. He's like speaking Spanish to you, calling you mamita and all this stuff. And he was like, yeah, I'm a masseuse. And I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I'll give you a great massage. He was like, just come up to my hotel room and I'll give you a massage.
I always tell people, I'm like, you know what? Like his lack of like English language, I'm like, you would just think it's creepy. I was like, but he's the sweetest man you'll ever meet.
So completely innocent. And I'm thinking to myself, look, I'm a 28-year-old woman, okay? Woman, okay? You ain't getting close to these bits and bits, all right? But then, I got to know him and I realized, oh no, he's actually like a licensed masseuse and like legit just like.
Well, but actually he's actually licensed in Dominican Republic, and if you move here, you have to retake all of the coursing for it. But Gabino he doesn't understand the English language well enough to read all of like the textbooks and everything.
Right.
So he basically, this is how good of a person he is. He basically is just like the local free physiotherapist for everyone that knows him and does it for free for everyone.
So nice.
Yeah.
He's honestly just like the kindest soul ever. But it was funny because I had just met him for the first time. He's like, you want massage? And I was like, who the heck is this guy? I was like, sir, you need to back the frick up. All right? Security, where you at? No, I'm just kidding. So no, but he's super, super kind and so nice. And
actually, I think my funniest moment I have a video of this actually. We were all hula hooping in top 20, and then we look over and Patrick is hula hooping it like around his neck. It's like, what the hell? Like, Patrick is hula hooping. Like, you just wouldn't. If y'all know Patrick, you know, like, if anyone that auditions or makes it to Hollywood Week, I have to be like, Patrick is an angel. Like, you will love him because he's so good at his job. Like, it is so hard to handle 300 people in one building. Like, Patrick just yells and is like, everybody shut up. And like, you need to be like that to be able to do that job. Like, he's perfect at his job. But once you get closer, like smaller numbers, you actually get to know him as a person and see how sweet he is. He doesn't have to yell like that to 20 people in a room. He just says, hey, everyone listen up. And he's very like professional on top of his game, but you don't expect him to be hula hooping with everyone. So like he's very stoic.
He's very stoic. So he's very like, when somebody does something stupid, he's like the first person to roll his eyes and be like, you're an idiot kind of thing. So you would never expect him. You would expect him to watch everybody hula hooping and be like, y'all look stupid because you're hula hooping. Yeah. Not him be hula hooping around his neck, not his waist, his neck. Yeah.
Or like we joined the Zoom meetings and like he just has like a stormtrooper helmet on.
He does love Star Wars.
Yo, like, Patrick, what's up? He's like, this is my stormtrooper helmet. Right. And then you're like, nice.
Yeah. He's a big old nerd. Like I actually spent like a lot of time with him.
He loves you.
Yeah. And in Hollywood Week, we like actually got like pretty close and we were just kicking it. Like he told me that, when he found out who made top 40, he had to avoid me. And it was weird because the last day I was like, why isn't Patrick like talking to me? He keeps like, I started a conversation with him, like running away. Yeah. And so I was just like, well, maybe I did something to make him mad, or maybe he's stressed out because there's like 300 of us. Who knows, right? So then he puts us in the rooms or whatever, and then we find out we're top 40. And immediately, the moment I walk out of the doors, when we found out I was top 40, he came up to me and was like, "Hey, I just want you to know, I had to avoid you because I knew I was going to tell you if I didn't avoid you." So
No,
he's just
literally.
he's just so nice, and we got even like closer in Hawaii as well. Like it's
It's
just
funny
every time
too
we had a meeting.
when you get to know him, you know if Patrick likes you or doesn't like
Yes,
you. Like
correct.
it's very obvious. And
Mhm.
like people who like him could be like I used to call him Patrick as a joke. I'm like, "Hey Patrick," and then like someone he doesn't like is like, "Yo Patrick," he's like, "Don't call me Patrick."
Right, or don't call him Pat.
Yeah.
Good God, if you called him Pat, I called him Pat a few times because, like, short for Patrick, right? He was
Yeah.
like, "No, Pat is a girl's name." So
Yeah.
one time I accidentally called him Pat because it's such a bad habit for me to shorten people's names.
Yeah.
And he turned around and said, "Who the called me
Yeah.
Pat?" Right? You know what I did? I was standing right behind him, so it was like it was me. Okay,
Yeah.
I turned around and I went. I know who did it.
You did it.
He acted like it wasn't me. I turned around and then Pat was like, "I hate when," like, confided in me because he didn't know it was me that called him that. Was like, "I hate when people call me Pat," or something like that. I was like, "Oh, good to know." Like,
So bad.
I literally turned around so quick, like acting like, "Who did it?" Like,
Literally, this reminds me. My friend was telling me the other day. He like dented the front of his mom's car, or like got a hole in it, and he was
oh
like,
God.
My mom didn't notice for like a month, and she brought me outside, and she was like, she's like, "Jake, what happened to my car?" And I was like, "What happened, Mom?" That's just reminds me. He just played it off as if she
Dude, you
he
got
didn't do
to.
it.
If you act like, it's probably one of my greatest skills, honestly, is if like I
Me
do
too.
something
I'm like,
and
what?
yeah, I'm like, what happened? Like, or whatever. Like I did it in school so much where like I would, say something salty or something, and people would be like, "What did you say?" Like about to like fight or something. And then I'm like, "What did I say?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"What did you say?" And then I look around and I'm like, what did I say? Like, just like
Yeah.
totally like played it off like I didn't say anything and like they're crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's it's ridiculous. Oh, sorry, I had a little pop up on my screen. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay. You can
it was
share how I did you dirty now.
oh my gosh. This is my
Keep
all
in mind, like I didn't realize what I was saying until I said it, and I now realize it's really disrespectful.
no,
And I was
it was funny. You said it to
weeks
the right
later, I was
person.
in the shower, and I was like, honestly, like that was so rude. Like I should probably message her. Like I thought about this, so like don't cancel me.
No, literally, I'll start it with this then. Lauren is the kindest, sweetest friend ever. She is always messaging me and commenting on all my stuff, always gassing me up. She is literally a really,
Yeah.
really good friend, which is probably why she got away with this comment.
Yeah.
So it's top 40, right? We've all done our performances and we're all waiting to find out if we made top 20, right? So it's a super stressful thing. It's an all day thing. It's dragged out. You're like,
I don't even get nervous. And when I went to go get my judgment, I was like shaking. Like I was
oh,
like,
yeah.
whew. Like,
Yeah, it's just super nerve wracking. And then you're seeing people like come through that made top 20 and you're like, this person, like, what is happening? Like, so you're just like doing a tally in your head, right? And constantly they had me last. I mean, they had me as one of the last performances. They had me last in getting a decision. They had my room last on who would find out who's top 40. I mean, it was just like so irritating. Okay.
Were we in the same room?
No, we were not. I don't think so.
Were you in like Michaela Phillips's room?
No, I was with Robbie and Elijah.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think Nick was in my room, and so
yeah.
I think Shannon was too.
And like Grace and stuff.
Yeah, Grace was in my room. Yeah, which that's a funny story too. I could tell that.
That's
story
sad.
But so anyways, we're all stressed the heck out, right? We're all waiting to find out. Lauren's goes in front of me. She finds out she made it. We're all excited for her. Woohoo! Some of our other friends make it. Woohoo! We're all excited. Lauren's like gassing me up. She's like, "You're gonna make it. Like, don't even like."
Being honest, like I dead ass, like Gina's performance. No offense to any of my close friends in the top that made top 20, but like Gina's performance was like top 5 performances. Like she performed the shit out of that song. The arrangement was cool. Her outfit was cool. Like nobody else compared. Like I 100% was like, Gina's going through. Like I had no doubt in my mind that Gina was going through. So
I felt the same way. I thought I was going through too. So
it humbled her. Yeah.
Lay that out there, right? But yeah, so then I go and I get my verdict, right? And they tell me you did something trendy. No, right? So I'm like all salty about it, right?
This is so bad.
My family finds out, and I'm just like, oh no, I didn't make it. Whatever. I'm kind of upset about it. And then I go behind the scenes, behind the camera or whatever, and I see Lauren, right? And Lauren's like, "Did you make it?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Dude, I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "But make sure to vote for me, though."
So bad.
I started laughing. Like, you literally said it to the right person, because I really don't get butthurt about very many things, like at all.
And the rest of your family was like,
the timing of that was so freaking funny. First of all, I end up telling my family on the night that we watched like the performance or whatever. I tell my family the story about like how you said that to me, and everybody in the room started laughing. Everybody was like, "That's so freaking funny." We were dying. Oh my god, it was funny. You definitely said it to the right person. If you said it to someone else, they probably would have been butthurt.
Oh, anyone else on the show, it would have been like a completely different reaction. I remember, who was with you? Ben was there.
Ben was there. My mom was there.
That's it?
That's it. Just 2 people. Yeah.
I just remember.
Oh, and Alex. Alex. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Alex.
That's what I thought. It was either Alex or Ben, but I said it, and one of them was like,
"It's probably Alex."
And then I was like, "Oh shit!" And then like you started laughing, and I was like, "Okay." Whew.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure I was like, "You're still gonna vote for me, though, right?"
Yeah, you did. You so said it like that, and I just started laughing, and I was like, "Now that you said that, yes, you totally got my vote." Oh my god.
You gotta ask for what you want, guys.
Right. The other funny memory I have a lot, but was okay. So we had just had the toughest week of Hollywood Week, right? We're all exhausted. I mean, completely exhausted. We're dwindled down. We made it through all these rounds.
I can't imagine getting to the end of Hollywood Week and not going through, because knowing I was going to Hawaii just made all my hard work like appreciated, like worth something. And it was like, you know what? I'm going to Hawaii, but like going home on that last day would have just been like a knife to the chest.
Oh yeah, and then after you put that much work into it too, the whole week, you're like, what in the heck?
And then you don't even get aired. Like
like lucky for me, I only lived like around the corner. It was like a 5-minute drive home. But but for everybody else that
traveled,
had to take time off of work and stuff. Yeah, crazy. So, anyways, we're all stressed out. They put us in these 3 different rooms. We're waiting for hours, okay? Hours in these rooms. They're just making us sweat it out, and they're recording us, right? So we're all like super stressed out. I, in the middle of it, just start laughing, okay? I'm like, this is so dumb.
This happened to me. And Patrick yelled at me.
Yeah, they start yelling at us because I start laughing.
I yelled at me because I got put in a room with like literally all of the top 20. Like I walked in that room and I knew I was going through. Michaela, Sanaya, Franklin. Like I had everybody in my room. I was like, I'm going through. Kimmy. Like I was like, there's absolutely no way I am getting sent home. Like these fools are way too talented to be sent home. They told Franklin that same round, that same day, we think you're gonna win the show. So I was like, we in this for the win. Yeah, and I was like, nice, here we go. And so me and Kimmy kind of looked at each other, and Cameron, and we were like we're going through, like we're in the same room as Michaela, like oh my god, like, and so we were like totally not freaking out, and like Ike was like, yo, look sad, and I was like, I'm sorry, like instantly I was like, and like you can even tell in the video, I had a really bad headache too, like honestly, I've never had a worse headache. I swear we were in there for 3 hours, and it felt like a sledgehammer was just hitting my head over and over. And like after like he told me to like be quiet, like my head just started hurting even more. And you can see in the take, it like goes to me and I'm like in pure agony staring at the floor, like in pain. I was like, this is bringing back like vivid PTSD of my pain in this room.
God. Yeah. So we get divvied up into rooms, right? And I'm like, probably like the 5th person to walk into my room, right? I walk into the room and I'm looking at the people in the room and I'm like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then as I'm walking into the room, I walk through the doors and Devin goes, oh, we're going home. And I'm walking through.
Stop. Wait, Demi?
I'm like, what the frick, right? So I'm like, what is going on here, right? Then what happens is after me, Elijah walks through, Robbie walks through, and I'm like, oh no, we're good.
Yeah.
And then freaking like 5 other people walk through, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, the one performance I did see was horrible. Yeah. So I don't know about your last performance. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a Hail Mary at this point.
You know, my room was full of every single guarantee.
Yeah, you had all the heavy hitters.
Yeah, and then your room was like I don't know. Like, if I was in that room, I would have been like chopping at my nails. Like,
well, here's what I did know was remember the drama that happened in the duets where there was those 2 people and the kid that talked about the chicken wings, remember? And him and her, she was really prepared, but he wasn't, and he messed up the whole performance.
And then she like called him out.
And then he apologizes and says, hey, I'm so sorry. I really messed this up for her. Send me home, but don't send her home, right? Which was so kind to do, right? He didn't have to say anything, which I can speak to.
And most people on that show would not have done that. So that is very... he took one for the
that I know people who haven't done that, and it happened to me. So anyways.
I wouldn't have done that.
Right. And so then she decides to say, yeah, I was prepared and he wasn't, and basically blast him in front, which made her look horrible. Everybody in the room started booing her. Okay, everybody went boo, like her. Okay, so then what the judges end up doing is they end up conversing amongst each other and letting them both through, right? Which then, in essence, was kind of effed up because then they had to send somebody else home that didn't do what they did, right?
Yeah.
So this is why I knew I was safe, because I knew they would have had to have the best rocking performance of their lives to have gone through to top 40, and I wasn't in the room with them. And I told Landon, he asked me, or maybe I asked him, I said, who do you think if you were in the room with them that you knew you were going home? And he was like, I don't really know. And I said, I'm telling you right now, if I'm in the room with those 2, I know I'm going home. Well, he ends up in the room with them.
No, stop.
And I end up in the other room. And he's like, I knew I was going home because I saw them in my room.
That's so bad.
It was over. But so then, we're sitting in that room and you have to be so serious. Like, you're like so stressed out and blah, 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 blah. And at this point, I'm so exhausted, so tired, so ready for it to be done and just find the verdict that I just start laughing, okay? And everybody else starts laughing. And then the producers are like, hey, you guys need to be serious. And I'm like, we've been serious. Like, y'all got the takes. I'm like, this scenario is too much. And I just start cracking jokes at this point. And now everybody's laughing. I'm looking at cameramen laughing. They're busting up. Like, and they're trying to get control of the scenario. We finally like settle down. And I'm just like, bruh, I just can't keep a serious face. So it was just way too much. Oh my gosh. I just find it so funny too that like I was like, these 2 people, if I'm in a room with them, I know I'm going home. And then poor Landon ends up in a room with them.
Aw, poor guy.
And he was so good too. He did not have a bad performance. It was basically like they just decided it was going to be either him or Devin because they were kind of similar, and they chose Devin.
Actually, so, there's actually a couple people like Aaron. Like, I didn't think Aaron Kirby was going to get sent home.
Oh yeah, I didn't think she would either.
I didn't think
the redhead girl shouldn't have got sent home.
The redhead girl, like Sasha. There was a couple that I was like, I saw them
Landon.
go into a certain room and like I wanted to be in that room because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, they're going through. And
Mhm.
then I found out at the end and I was like, shit, like
Yeah.
I'm lucky to be alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it
Yeah,
was.
it was super stressful, and I remember, like, by the time it was done, I felt like my adrenaline was so all over the place because it's
Mhm.
like you go on stage, your adrenaline's up, you get a verdict, your adrenaline's up. Like, it was just up, down, and then you're already tired, and it just feels like your adrenaline was getting
Yeah.
depleted and depleted. It was so stressful.
No,
Oh my gosh.
literally.
I'm so glad that's over.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a part of the show that I've created called Which One is Better? Okay? And what we're going to do is I'm just going to list off some things and we might not have the same answers. We might have completely different answers and we're basically going to not debate, but we're going to explain why, why I choose this or why I choose that. And
Yeah.
it's a fun game to play to
Yeah.
see differences of opinion, okay? And I think it's also just fun because it comes up with funny things. So
Yeah.
the first one I have written down is Hailey Bieber or Selena Gomez.
Like it's so hard because recently I think everyone can like attest to this. Like I've gained so much respect for Justin Bieber. Like
Sure.
just everything he went through as a kid and like being young and fame, like I don't even have any fame and I can partially understand how like that can really impact your life.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially at a young age, and I'm not even as young as what he was. And like just him recently, like he reaches out to younger influencers to help them. Like he's just so wise and mature after everything he's gone through. And like he seems like he's in such a happy place with
Right.
Hailey that I'm like, I just want to be loyal to the Beavers.
Right.
But I'm like, Selena's over here, like an icon who like
right.
wrote all these great songs about her breakup basically with Justin
Yep.
Bieber. Like she's thriving. She's on Wizards of Waverly Place. Like she was a
She-
part of
she
my
also-
childhood.
She also was at one point for the longest time the #1 followed person on Instagram.
Yeah.
Which is like, you better go with your bad self.
So it's like, I want to be.
I've also heard some terrible waitress stories about Hailey, like terrible waitress stories about her. And I'm like, ooh, do you remember that on TikTok? It was going around for a while. This girl was like, celebrities I've met and like what their rating was. She gave Hailey like a 1. And I was like, I wonder if that's true or just an option.
I hope if I'm ever at that level that I continue to treat people. I think I worked in like restaurants from like 11 to like 16. So like I just could never. Like, even if a waitress does something wrong, I'm just like, don't worry about it. It's all good. And then when they leave, I'm like, like, I'm still so nice to their face. I know that job is stressful. I know it sucks, but I hope to always be kind to people that are in a lesser position than me.
I think I kind of feel similar about them, but the one thing that makes me change my mind and makes me decide on one person is Justin Bieber did Selena wrong. I mean, so wrong.
That's true.
Like, I mean, I know it's a young love, like whatever, but he did her dirty. Like, we all thought Justin was gonna end up with Selena, and then out of nowhere he starts dating Hailey, and we're like, what? This is just a little thing for a second, right?
Yeah.
And then gets married, and we're like, wait, you always belong with Selena. And I'm like, for that, I got
I feel like
I'm
Selena,
like, you did
like,
Selena wrong.
Justin's over here with like a great life and a wife. All his songs are like happy, like anyone, and it's like Selena's still over here hurting. Like, we gotta be with our girl.
Messed up. She's like, I thought I was gonna be with this person forever. And when he was like in a dark place, she was the one with him. He was reaching out to her and probably screwing with her emotions because she's like, oh, I got this guy that I love.
And like she basically stuck by his side through his tough times, and then now that he's good,
better so that he could date Hailey.
Yeah,
he was all effed up. She put him back together, and instead of paying her back and being like, oh, I'm back together now. You know, let's be together because now I'm whole. He's like, no, peace. You fix me. No thanks to you. I'm gonna go to Hailey, and I'm like, that's kind of effed up. So I'm gonna go with Selena. Although with Hailey, I still got mad for love for you, and I don't believe that that waitress was right about you. I think you're very
yeah.
kind.
I bet you were just having a bad day.
Yeah, I bet it was just an off day for you, and we all have those sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Charlie D'Amelio or Dixie D'Amelio?
I feel like just because I'm closer to Charlie's age, I
Mhm.
want to say Charlie. And like she does dance and all that, but
Right.
I see so many things of Charlie getting like picked on for like the
Yeah,
same
it's
things that
sad.
I'm insecure about. So
Mhm.
like I really stand with her being like my age and having to go through all of that.
Yeah.
And I know I'm also not really 100% sure what like Dixie does. Like we all like, sorry. But we all know Charlie dances. Like that's Charlie's thing. She got famous for dancing. Like I don't know what Dixie's thing is.
So dead.
Also, like I'm a little jealous that Dixie's dating Noah Beck.
Oh, is she?
And like you haven't seen this? Like
no, I've seen it. I just didn't know his name.
no, it's not like some of the videos. It just seems like Noah is so head over heels for this girl, and Dixie's just kind of like, like you know.
I think that's Dixie's personality, though. Like she seems,
I think so.
From like the few like YouTube videos I've seen of her, she seems like she used to do like motocross or something like that. She seems like the
badass.
The sporty girl that like is just like one of the boys. And so then when she gets with the boy, she's kind of like, whatever, like, yeah, it's cool that we're together, but like, don't expect anything else, like kind of thing. Like, I think she just has that like tomboy charm to her. But I do agree. I'm like, Dixie, please let me write you a song. Like, I've got some bangers for you.
Because like I didn't know Dixie released music until the Sometimes I Don't Wanna Be Happy.
Right. Which shout out to my girl Sam who wrote that.
Yeah. But like I've always known what Charlie's thing is. Yeah. And I think Dixie built her platform and then got into her niche and was like, I like music, this is what I want to do.
Well, also Dixie's built platform was off of Charlie.
Yeah. So like
no offense, Dixie. Like you put in the work, but come on.
Yeah. I gotta say Charlie.
Yeah. I will say though too, one thing that I have mad respect for Dixie is, yeah, Charlie has like a built platform and it's huge. And I think she's now the #1 person followed on TikTok, right? So it's like, kudos to you. Wow. But Dixie's route has a longer longevity than Charlie's right now. Because the music industry has been around for forever. Social media in general is newer, but also TikTok is even newer. And in terms of longevity, how long can you keep up doing dances? There's a time limit.
Yeah, and respect too, because she did, although she may have gotten a lot of her followers from her sister, like she still had to post her own content, and like she really said, okay, my sister's getting followers. How can I use this to my advantage?
Right. Yeah,
to build my own brand. So like,
that's like me with you. I'm like, Lauren's better than me, but I'm gonna hop on that back real quick, piggyback.
Yeah.
So in essence, we're saying, actually, what we should say is we're going Charlie, but who knows? In 2 years, it might be. Dixie.
It might be Dixie.
It might be Dixie because Dixie does have a platform that has a longer longevity currently. Not to say that Charlie can't switch it up and surprise us, but again, I would like to end this with a positive on each one for which one's better. We still love the both of you. Okay, this is just a devil's advocate game. That's just
I love the whole D'Amelio family.
Yeah, we love all of you guys. We appreciate your spunk, and I've seen your Gary Vee videos, and I appreciate your guys' spunk and your F off attitude. I appreciate it. So you'll probably see this or not. Probably not. You probably won't see it. But if you do see it,
in like 3 months, we're going to be like friends with Dixie. We're going to be like, take the video down.
Right, exactly. Like, hey, Lauren, I'm deleting this video. We're now friends with her. Okay, bye. Okay, this one's pretty easy. It's not music related, but I always like to do one that's like not people related because I feel like sometimes it feels like we're smashing on people, but we're not. We're just having fun. Like, it'd be funny if somebody did me and Lauren and then somebody was like, yeah, definitely Lauren. She's more talented and better. And Geena just uses her following.
They'd probably be like, I don't know, Geena has like a cool edge, like how she dresses and like just seems like Lauren's like less experienced and just like
yeah, aka
they'd be like,
Gina's
and like
older.
Like Lauren said that mean thing to her on Idol like that one time. Like we're not really sure like if she's actually a nice person.
Right. Gina's actually just decrepit and has one foot on a banana peel and the other in a grave.
Yeah.
So we just know Lauren's gonna be around longer. So we just Okay, so this one is French fries or tater tots.
I feel like you're gonna like hate me for my answer.
What you're gonna go basic, aren't you?
I'm
A
using French fries.
You a basic hoe.
I don't really like tater tots. Like I'll eat them. Like if you cook them up, and I believe you're a good cook, like I'll eat them. But like
I'm about to hang up.
I feel like
call. You did not just say tater tots are not that good.
I think like in the States, it's more popular to have tater tots. Like that's not really a thing that's served. Like you guys can get them in like drive-throughs and stuff like that. Like I don't have that. That's not an option. We're fries only.
Oh we have you can't go to Burger King. You've never been to Burger King where they give like tater tots as the hash browns?
We have like 2 Burger Kings on the whole island. Like we have like I think at Taco Time you can get them, but I don't eat at Taco Time. Like it's not really like an option. So I'm a big poutine person, Canadian.
Uh-huh.
So like I've always been like a fry girl.
Doesn't like tater tots but likes poutine. What the frick is that? First of all, I'm just gonna make the debate for a tater tot because a tater tot blows a French fry away. I mean, there's some French fries that are like, dang, this French fry is like amazing, but consistently, tater tots are more consistent. And when somebody brings a tater tot out, it's always crispy on the outside. It's just right every single time. French fries,
I just don't know if I don't like the way it's like shaped. Like I really like the long, like you know, like tater tots give me like a weird energy. Like, do I put the whole thing in my mouth? Do I bite half of it? Like, it's just like gives me anxiety to eat.
It's a weird energy. See that tot right there? It's got a weird energy. Oh my god, that's so.
It does. It just like creeps me out. Like they're just like round and like weird.
Dude, it's like perfect when you open your mouth. Whoop, goes right in.
I feel like that's too much at once, and then I'm like,
oh man, you just haven't had the right tot. You haven't.
Yeah,
had
like
the
I'm gonna come to the States and eat them and be like, wow, this hits different.
Oh my gosh, like French fries to me are so inconsistent. It's like you go to McDonald's, fire. You go to Chick-fil-A, chalky.
Yeah, they're so different everywhere. Like I definitely have we have this place called New York Fries where I live. I don't think you have that. Like slaps, like the best. It's like a poutine place, but you can just get fries, and it's like I don't want poutine anywhere else. Like the fries are so good, the gravy's so good, the cheese is so good. I'm trying to be dairy free, but the cheese is so good.
Like, there's dairy and gravy too, so
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to a French fry. I love a good French fry. I just think when tater tots come out, like when it was like I think back to when I was a kid, and I think like when mom came out with French fries and burgers, cool. But when mom came out with some tots, that was a night that slapped. You put some Lowry seasoned salt, that bit is ready to go.
That's like not something that like people buy. Like I don't go to someone's house and they're like making eggs and like breakfast, and it's not like like someone put the tater tots in. Like it's more like full hash browns.
I feel like we're going like US versus Canada right now.
Yeah.
Like who's gonna win? Everybody.
I mean, we have gun laws, so
yeah. Everybody comment below. We have gun laws.
Yeah, but with all those school shootings.
Oh my god, we're not getting into this. We're sticking to tots and French fries.
Just saying.
In terms of potatoes we're talking about here. I want to know comment below where you're from and if you prefer fries or tater tots. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to find out. And please prove Lauren wrong. Everybody show up for the tot. Come through for the tot. Oh, well, that's Living Like a G. Lauren, as per usual, I'm always so thankful to have you on, and I'm just gonna gas you up, but you're seriously so talented and the best, and you're such a good friend, and you always support everybody around you, which is so, so nice. You don't have to do that, and you're way nice about it. And I'm
I
so
secretly get
lucky.
paid.
All these people let me gas it up. Yeah, they paid
Yeah.
me on the back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so lucky to have you as a friend, and I'm so happy you came on and just had some good laughs with me.
Yeah.
All right, guys,
Thanks for
that's Living
having
Like a G. Please, if you like this video, share it to all of your friends. Tag Lauren, tag me in it. Do all of the things. And we'll see you next week. Peace.